Welcome to another episode of Bargain Saturdays. This week I decided to take a look at a song for this season, which I got in this collection of 8 movies, which should be relatively familiar since I talked about A Bush Christmas last week. If you ever watched that. Not everyone will. It wouldn't surprise me. Because Bargain Saturdays isn't very popular of a show. Just saying. As far as my overall opinion of the movie goes, I'm not sure. In many ways, it's hard for me to really offer a very objective view of this movie because I'm not very much a fan of romantic, sappy movies. So the movie's already going to lose my interest by default just because of what it is. I suppose that's not fair, but that's how the world works, let's face it. The My Little Pony card game, that I have a video or two up on my channel if you go digging for them, largely didn't go that far in my local area because of what it was about. It didn't matter how good the game itself might have been. Because it was about My Little Pony, it failed basically epically to the point where my local Walmart doesn't really carry the cards. Except around Christmas time. That's basically it at this point for them. Because they're like, well, they're not popular enough to keep around for just potentially one customer to buy them. I mean, you want to have a bigger base for a card game if you're going to keep it going. Which means it's very difficult for me to find people to play against, and I guess that's enough of a tangent. Basically, I'm saying it's hard for me to offer a very good opinion about this movie for even people that would enjoy it. As someone who would not enjoy the subject matter, it's almost pointless for me to give an opinion because I'm just going to outright hate it pretty much by default. Which is why it took me about 3 hours to get through the movie, even though it's only 90 minutes long. I wouldn't say it's bad per se, but my issues with it are all content-based rather than quality-based. There are some issues I'd argue with the quality. Like, there's one point where this one woman makes a comment about Christmas that makes the holiday, or at least gift-giving itself, sound extremely stupid. Which I suppose isn't entirely wrong, considering you could argue that many presents are of almost no value to the people that get them. Or are things they would probably never buy themselves. Like, my brother got me the Dragon Balls for Christmas. And it's like, well, I didn't really want them, but now I have them. And there's other gifts I've gotten too like that. Like, he got me a skillet. Like, what am I going to do with a skillet? I don't really cook anything that would go in a skillet. In fact, he's the only one in the house that might use it right now, beyond my parents maybe using it. And like, I guess you listen go on about how you can get really useless Christmas gifts that you'll never really be interested in when it comes to this time of year. Again, another tangent, I suppose, but yes. I guess I can understand why they say the holiday has a very stupid habit of giving gifts of questionable value, where people are spending their money uselessly. But I don't know if that was meant to be a wise comment on gift giving itself, or it's just meant to establish the character's personality as being rather abrasive and not caring if the holiday looks stupid because of it, despite this being a Christmas movie. I'm honestly somewhat mixed on the whole music theme of the movie as well. It's not that the music is necessarily bad when they're obviously trying, but when they're trying to be bad, it's just horrible to listen to, and it doesn't make any sense why the band's being bad somewhat. Because they point out at one point, at least one of the kids, that they don't want to do poorly in front of their parents, yet they're willing to basically botch all their practices of the classic Christmas carols on the grounds that they don't want to play the classics because they suck. Or I guess they're boring would be a more appropriate term. Which I can't disagree with. I mean, most Christmas carols are not very enjoyable to listen to, and even most of my coworkers agree they don't want to listen to Christmas songs unless they're from like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra or something else like that. So these songs have some real power behind them, so they're actually enjoyable to listen to. In fact, I almost basically stick CDs in my car nowadays just so I don't have to listen to the radio and have to deal with Christmas songs this time of year. I'd rather spend $10 on a CD and then listen to the same songs basically over and over again ad nauseum. Because I only spend about 10-15 minutes in my car at most days driving to and from work, so I don't have to listen to the entire track multiple times. I also have 6 CDs, which is probably strange considering most people would probably tell you they have a lot more than that, or they've made their own CDs with a whole bunch of different artists instead of actually buying CDs at Walmart. But another offshoot tangent, I suppose. But yeah, I understand why the band might want to not do the original versions of the carols because they're very tiresome to listen to after a while. But at the same time, if you don't want to perform badly in front of your parents, why not bug the music teacher or spice up the songs into more like jazz pieces or something, rather than just outright fail constantly and repeatedly during practice? I mean, do something constructive or just do the songs as is. That's all I'm saying. Plus, it's painful to listen to horribly played music anyway. Hmm. Oh yeah. What other notes did I take down here? Let's see. Yes. Do high school kids talk like that? There's a scene in this movie where our, I don't know what they call her. She's not technically our female lead, I suppose. That would be the music teacher, our secondary female protagonist. I don't know. I don't know what the appropriate term would be. I guess she's more of a major minor character, a minor major character, or something weird like that. How you want to call it? And she refers to ask the teacher if she likes her father. Like, do high school girls really talk like that? And I've just been out of high school so long, I just couldn't imagine someone talking in such a childish fashion when it comes to relationships. I mean, when I was in high school, I remember girls walking into a choir declaring they've spent their virginity card. Yes, that actually happened at least once. Like, I don't know why someone would think losing their virginity is something to really brag about, much less do it inside the choir class of all things. So maybe my view of this is a bit overly biased. Uh, I just don't know why you would say, do you like him like him? I mean, that's what I'm trying to get at here. It doesn't seem like something a high school age kid would say. Maybe, like I said, I'm jaded by what I experienced when I was in high school and the times. I mean, this movie was released back in 1999, so maybe that was the thing back then. But I guess. Is there anything else on my notes here? Yes. One thing I don't get is why does everyone blame Cal for cutting the music program? I mean, I realize it's cruel to take music away from kids, but at the same time, he was brought in to balance the budget and prevent the school from closing altogether. So if he has to cut a program to do that, then that's what he's going to do. I mean, it's better to lose part a leg rather than lose the entire body. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he's got a job where he basically has to be the bad guy no matter what he does. So it becomes sort of unfair to be all mean and nasty to him about the fact he had to cut the music program because there wasn't enough money in the budget. I just don't get why everyone has to treat him like he's the asshole for doing it. I mean, I know it sucks, but unless you're going to offer some actual solutions to raise money for the school, you're not really offering anything real helpful to him. I mean, eventually he realizes he can maybe ask the alumni, because a lot of them were students of Miss Wait. Like, usually just call her Lily, don't refer to her by her last name. And ask them to, like, start helping to put money together to pay for the music program so they can hopefully get funded for the next couple of years and try and work out how to fit into the budget overall. I mean, I just don't get why they have to act like he's the dick, for cutting it in the first place. He didn't have an option, in his opinion, to do anything else. Yes, I know it's always the arts programs that get cut first when it comes to school budget cuts, but you're not going to really be able to get rid of a lot of the harder science classes or math classes and stuff like that. So the usual target's going to be more optional types classes like arts or foreign languages. Because when I was in high school, there was actually a class for German, but the class got cut due to lack of interest. Same thing that happened to a Chemistry 2 class I wanted to go into. Because I enjoyed Chemistry 1, didn't really want to go into physics, but I was forced to take physics on the grounds that there wasn't enough interest in the Chemistry 2 class. Sucks, I know. And yeah, I'm going into yet another digression of my own personal history, oddly enough, with this movie. I mean, yeah, if you're looking for a sappy Christmas romance, you might like A Song for the Season. It definitely has some decent music selections in it, but it's not my cup of tea, so I'm not going to offer a final verdict if you should watch it or not, if you're not into that kind of movie. Uh, um, with that being said, till next time then. See ya.
Yikes! Stop! Stop! Oh, that was painful. That was really, really, really bad.